Hey everybody, thanks for stopping by. My name is Mike McNamara. This is Screen Magazine. Wonderful new film. It's called Big Sur. Revolves around the iconic Jack Kerouac, and I'm here with the tremendous actor who just portrayed this iconic character, Jean-Marc Barr. Welcome to Screen.
Very happy to be here.
Absolutely. So, not too tough of a task, right? Just take on one of the most iconic and talked about
characters of the 20th century.
Yeah, no biggie.
No biggie. And what's funny is, because there hasn't been many films until recently about Kerouac. What's funny is you have a young director who's been influenced by Kerouac, young producers as well who fell in love with Kerouac,
right?
And who put together a piece and made a real, truly independent movie.
Sure.
And so we also had the advantage, being that On the Road is so close and intimate to many people.
Yeah.
To approach one of his last novels, where there's a true evolution in the writing, and where there is also an end of that romanticism of what Kerouac was trying to portray or trying to be. You see a man who, like Hemingway, caught in his image, and has to almost declare making a slow suicide with alcohol. But in that whole process, the human quest of an artist is totally alive.
Absolutely. And talk about, for yourself, when we talk about the quest of the artist, there is a fair amount at stake for you to say, well, I can't just kind of have at it and do what I want because it's this iconic guy. But at the same time, maybe you do have to say, I'm just going to let it go and
I don't know how
thing.
Kerouac is for some people. I mean, I'm 52 years old. I read Kerouac in the 70s. Of course it influenced me.
Sure.
On the road. To such a point that I actually started living it. I left America and started working in Europe and living in a suitcase and also just not being involved in the values of the society of which I'm living in. I think, the beatniks, Burroughs and Ginsberg and Kerouac, were reacting against an Eisenhower kind of sedate tranquility after war.
Sure.
These people had been through hell who'd gone to war as well, and they wanted to...
Especially back then.
Yeah.
Wars today are still awful, but back then...
No, that was huge. It just separated families. But it was one of the original times in American history where the artists, outside of the transcendentals, started exploring Buddhism, started exploring different sexualities, started being influenced by foreign writers.
Yeah.
They opened up culture for America. Took a little time.
Yeah.
To such a way that it's important today, you see. And I think also why I think Kerouac is being shown today is that maybe we're at the end of a cycle in capitalism that was proposed after. Let's
not get too optimistic.
No, but what they were fighting.
Yep.
Was that was its strongest period, so they couldn't have won.
Yep.
But what's the self-reliance it gives Kerouac's novels, Kerouac's philosophy, like Thoreau or Emerson, is something quite American, and something that has a true value, I think, for today, where all the rules and values we were brought up in that don't seem to hold up anymore.
Yep.
It offers a contrast, or it offers a way of looking at things differently. One thing that's really important to say about this film, which is going to contrast with On the Road, is that we had a chance to really concentrate on the language, okay? And the language of Big Sur, if you have a chance to read it, you can see his obsession and his passion with writers like Thomas Wolfe or Marcel Proust. I don't know if you know these guys, but
Proust, definitely.
Yeah, these one paragraph lasting 3 pages, 2 sentences. But I mean, it was something new, and his whole quest of language, which I think it was all he wanted to be, was a great writer.
Yep.
In this movie, it's really put in the forefront, and I think as Americans, this movie can make us proud that we have a literature and that we have something that is, today I think the best writers in the world are American, but at that time, it was something new, and people were disturbed by it. They were disturbed by these kind of people who were not at all like us. And I think today they're really giving the chance for the young generation to have no problem opening up.
Absolutely.
That's what I hope this film does.
Well, we will see. I have 2 quick questions for you. We're going to turn it back to you guys. We're with actor Jean-Marc Barr. He plays the iconic Jack Kerouac in Big Sur. 2 quick things. One, how'd you get this part? How'd you land? And it's tough to answer that quickly.
No, it isn't. I mean, you know how it was done?
You put something on tape in your living room. And
no. My lady, I was shooting in France.
Yep.
My lady in L.A. at the time was going to the projection of her old boyfriend's film and met Orion, our director,
Right.
and asked her. She asked him what he's doing. He said, "We're trying to do this film. We can't find Kerouac." And she told me that I resemble Kerouac because she's living with me for a little while and saw how I live. And
That's another story.
Yeah, and so Orion contacted Mike that night, and they Skyped the next day, and that's how I got the movie.
There it is. Last question for you, because I'm intrigued that you work in France, you work in Europe, now you're working here. Give me a little feel for the difference between working with an American filmmaker, working with a European filmmaker, and their
Well, you know, it's
approach.
different because it's industrial, huh?
Yeah.
So you have industrial movies in Europe, and you have very industrial movies here in America. After The Big Blue, I don't know if you've seen this movie that I did a long time ago, but it had quite a success. It gave me the chance. You know, I had the chance of either coming to America and doing very entertaining movies. I went to Europe because I was really obsessed by the culture.
Yeah.
And the next film I did after The Big Blue was Europa or Zentropa by Lars von Trier.
Oh, okay.
So I got to participate in something, because I was born in Germany, American Air Force father, my mother's French. I was born on an Air Force base.
What a...
And I got to choose independent movies, okay, from the very start. And once you start doing that, when you know that you're taking a gamble, when you know that your career could be on the line, and I've done my own films as a director, first films done in digital in France, and things like that. And you know, I'm from California. My father retired. We had a beautiful house in San Diego, so I already had the American dream.
Yeah.
So that gave me the chance to go to Europe and pursue my heart.
Yeah.
And that has been the beginning. That has been the reason I chose this business. Is I didn't want to be a slave.
Yeah.
The only slave I am to is my heart, and that for me is the most important thing. And I've been able to maintain that for 30 years.
Jean-Marc, we're looking forward to seeing the film. Thanks for stopping by Screen.
Great, thank you.
Absolutely. Guys, that was actor Jean-Marc Barr. He's playing Jack Kerouac in the wonderful, wonderful feature Big Sur. Guys, my name's Mike McNamara. Thanks for stopping by Screen. I'll see you soon.